Yo, 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 Football Family Feud, yeah?
Like, subscribe, turn notifications.
Going out to all Chelsea Massive.
All the boys in blue.
This one's for you. Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Football Family Feuds. And it was 8 years ago today that we had our greatest moment in the club's history. Yes guys, this is the day in 2012 when we won the Champions League. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little memorial and I'm going to be telling you where these players are now, what they're doing, what they're up to. So before I get into this video guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Like the video, hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified every time we make a new video. So straight into this video guys. So the first player, Petr Cech, the hero. He's the one who saved 2 penalties. We thought we were down. Petr Cech was one of these guys who didn't really have a great penalty saving record. So when it went to penalties, I wasn't giving us much hope, to be honest. But Petr Cech, what he actually did, he said he studied the way all of them did the penalties. And if you notice in the penalty shootout, he dived the right way on every single occasion. So he's done his homework really well that day. And he made 2 great saves. The best save was the one, a lot of people don't even know that he actually saved it, when he got the fingertip to the shot by Schweinsteiger, just the slight finger that took it onto the post. So where is he now? We all know where he is now because he's back at the club, guys. He's our technical and performance director. Not to be confused with director of football. So he oversees everything from the youth setup to the first team. And he has a say with transfers, although Graviskova still has the final say. He still has an input into the players that we are going to be bringing into the club. So the next one, right back, we had Bosinga. Bosinga was the unsung hero that day. If you notice, he was photobombing everyone's picture because he was so excited at winning the Champions League. And there's a story about Bosinga actually, which was told by Didier Drogba in his autobiography, where he was actually instrumental for our win in the Nou Camp against Barcelona. He was a substitute that day, and there was an injury to Gary Cahill earlier on, so that meant he had to come on. And Di Matteo at the time wanted him to come on as a right back, and for Ivanovic to move into centre half, but he kind of overruled Di Matteo. Said no, I'll play centre half, and Didier Drogba said he was actually instructing some of the other players in what positions they should play. And as you know, the rest is history. We had a solid defensive performance. Didier Drogba even played at left back in that game, and our defensive performance was such that it took us through that game, and we actually managed to beat Barcelona and qualify for the final. And so what's Bosinga doing now? I'm not sure what he's doing now. He went on and played for QPR, then he went to Turkey and he played for Trabzonspor, retired 2 years ago, and we don't know what he's actually up to now. We're probably just enjoying his retirement and still showing people pictures of him the time when he won the Champions League. At left back, Ashley Cole, another leader, another strong performer. He took one of the penalties as well that day. And he went on to play in the MLS. First of all, he went to Roma, then he went to the MLS, then he joined his friend Frank Lampard at Derby County, and now he's another one who's back in the Chelsea setup because he's coaching one of our academy sides. So welcome back to the fold, Mr. Cole. And John Terry, the captain. John Terry didn't actually play in the game, but I would think I should mention him because obviously he got sent off against Barcelona. But he he put on the kit, and a lot of people were ridiculing him for putting on the kit and lifting up the trophy. But he took us through most of that campaign, so it was only fitting for him to lift the cup up. So we know that he's at Aston Villa at the moment on the coaching staff. So I thought I'll just give him a mention, although he didn't play. But the other two centre backs that day were David Luiz. Strong performance by David Luiz. What I liked about David Luiz was actually injured. He played through the injury barrier. He showed a lot of character that day. Took one of the penalties as well, and strong performance by him. But we know that he's crossed enemy lines now, and he's at plying his trade for Arsenal. The other centre back that we had that day is Gary Cahill. Another one who came back from injury, because at the time we were injury ravaged. We didn't even know he was going to come out that day. So he came back early from injury. So he probably was still carrying a bit of an injury, but it didn't show in that game. He put in a faultless performance that day, and he's now still playing. He's playing for Crystal Palace now. And just another thing about Cahill, he's won every single trophy there is in the shortest amount of time. I think he's probably in the record books for that. He's won all the domestic and European trophies which have been available. So fair play to the lad, and well done on that. Midfield, John Obi Mikel. He was a man of the match for me in the Champions League performance. What a stellar performance by him. He just held everything together in injury hit side. He was, very, very consistent and kept things ticking over for us. So he's another one in our team who's won every single trophy that's been available, domestic and European. He went over to China, tried his luck in China for a bit, and then he went to Turkey. Again, same path as Bosinga actually, because he went to Trabzonspor, but he left Trabzonspor as when the coronavirus hit, because he felt that Turkey weren't doing enough, because they were still playing football even during the coronavirus. So he said he didn't want the risk of him or his family getting infected, so he left them. But the latest I heard that he's still keeping himself fit, so he's a free agent. So if any club needs a player, then he's the boy. I forgot to mention that he also went to Middlesbrough before going to Trabzonspor. So he's available, still just 34, so maybe he can give a club 2 or 3 good years still. And the other midfielder, this was a surprise when it came in, it was Brian Bertrand. Di Matteo pulled a surprise because he left Malouda on the bench and he put Bertrand in. No one expected that, but Bertrand, maybe the enthusiasm of youth, he came in, wasn't nervous at all, and he put in a good performance. He did his job on that left-hand side, and he was only 21 when he played, so he's still quite young. He's 8 years on, 28 or 29 now, so a very experienced player now, and he's been plying his trade at Southampton for a while now. He's even broken to the England side and played a few games for the national team. Then we have Solomon Kalu. No, Lampard. And everyone knows what Lampard is up to now. Lampard, what I loved about Lampard as well in the final was he just acted like a proper fan. He was running to the supporters and he was running around like, if you know supporter excited at the fact that someone's won something, if you look at Lampard, take a look at some of those little clips of Lampard when he was celebrating. It was fantastic to watch. And as I said, he's our manager at the moment, so there's no, after a spell with Manchester City, then he played in the MLS, came over, played for Manchester City, scored a goal against us, didn't celebrate, but then went to Derby, did okay at Derby in his first season, and back at Chelsea now. And finally, the other midfielder we have is Juan Mata. Juan Mata was fantastic for us when he first joined us, and he put in some stellar performances. Didn't have his greatest game actually in that Champions League final, and it culminated with him missing the first penalty of the match. And when he missed that penalty, I thought, oh no, it's all over. We're not going to beat these Germans. And actually, I didn't even watch the rest of the penalty shootout because I didn't think we were going to win. But then my wife called me and said, "You've won." And I came downstairs. We hadn't actually won the game, but I managed to see Didier Drogba's final kick, which sent us to glory. And so Solomon Kalu, another unsung hero on the day, did a great job. Kalu, he's still playing at the moment. He's playing for Hertha Berlin. He's 34, 35, I think, 34 I think Kalu is, yeah. And he's still scoring goals for Hertha Berlin, still doing a job in the Bundesliga. And Didier Drogba, the hero of the day, he was the one who scored the winning penalty, as we all know. And Didier Drogba, fantastic servant for the club. After we had won the league, he bowed out on a high because he went over to the MLS. No, he went to China first. Didn't work out at China because of some money situations, and he went over to play MLS. But then when Mourinho came back for his second spell, he brought back Drogba, and Drogba's experience showed that he pushed us over the line when we won the league that year. So he only came up for a season, and then he went back to the MLS, and now he's an ambassador for the UN, doing a lot of good work for them there, and he also does a lot of good work for his native country, Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. So there you have it. Di Matteo was the manager at the time. I think he got a couple of managerial jobs elsewhere. I'm not sure he's managing now at the moment. Don't know. If anyone knows what Di Matteo is doing, let me know. I may research it, look it up later on. So that's it. That's what these guys are up to, guys. And so on the anniversary of our greatest night in Europe, let's keep celebrating it, because we're still the only club in London to have lifted the trophy with the big ears. And after years of heartache, after the Overblow tried to stop us, after Liverpool Ghost Goal that tried to stop us, but nothing will prevail. At the end, it was our destiny to win that cup at some point in time. And after years of heartache, as I said, we finally done it. And no one can take that away from us. So let's celebrate, guys, and remember that London is blue and London will always be blue. Until the next time, like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications, and I'll see you on the next video.